Okay, here we go for part 3. So, in the two first parts of the session, we've seen the vision that we have for the future of space transportation, and we've seen how we implement these with our different programs to answer to industry needs, from technology to business, from access to space to act in space and the in-space economy. So now it's normal. I'm quite sure you might be wondering, how do I sign to shape with you the future of the space transportation ecosystem? Or how do I get a contract from FLPP? I have heard a lot this question in the breakouts. Or how to be on board the next steps of Best, Trust, First, Odyssey, and InSpock. And let me tell you that these are all relevant questions, and that's why we have this part 3. To answer them, we will start our part 3 with a presentation of the process on how to onboard to FLPP within FLPP different ventures, how to work with us, and how to shape together the future of space transportation. And Agatha will present to you our FLPP innovative procurement scheme and how to get involved. And she will also deliver at the end awards on 2 projects on in-space transportation that I'm particularly proud of. So Agatha, if you can join me on the floor, it's your time.
Very much, Jan. So, hello again. The presentation on the process will be very fast because it's quite simple, actually. This is concerning all our projects which you have seen and program lines which you have seen before. As you know, essentially we do now open competition. And this is very important because here the matchmaking and putting together the industry is a critical step in order to create good consortia and bid for the project. And in most of the cases we have, especially at the very early stage, several projects in parallel we can put in place. However, for some justified cases, we have still the option of restricted competition or direct negotiation. And this is what I plan to explain you in the next slide, because this is very important to understand. So especially for the new initiatives. First is a very good example, but at the beginning of InSpocks, at the beginning of Trust and Best, we did the same. We have started by OZIP call. The OZIP call, it means that we are just doing request for information. Through the OZIP platform, you are sending us information about you, but especially the interest on how do you want to position yourself in the call. Do you want to be the prime? Do you want to be the subcontractor? And what kind of idea you want to push or what kind of technology you wish to include in this call. Why it is important? Because this helps us also to update the call which we will do later on. Sometimes we see that even though we thought that the idea is not really treated at European level, there are several companies who say, actually it's quite advanced, maybe let's focus on something else. This helps us still to upgrade a little bit the content of the ITT. After the COSIP call, we are doing pitch days. Pitch days, which means between the ones who said, I want to be the prime, and the ones who say, I want to be the subcontractor, we are allowing them to pitch the idea and pitch the offer in order to enable you later on to get in contact and actually create a proposal together. So this is still before we publish the ITT. And only once the pitch day is finished, we are publishing on ESA Star the real call with the information about the budget and the concrete content of what we are expecting within the proposals. And this happened and will happen at all the new initiatives, and especially when we know that we want to do in open competition in order to consult all the ecosystem. Now, within our projects, of course, we are advancing in several steps. So we start in general with the new ideas with ideation phase, where it is not so advanced. This is where open competition is very important, several contracts in parallel. But later on, we move towards more advanced phases where the budgets start to be more concrete. And this is where we start to restrict the number of the proposals we can accept. Because if the budget are raising, we are not able to move in 5 or more in parallel. This, from the budget perspective, wouldn't be possible on our side. This is where we are often opening the restricted competition, which means we define the primes who can answer on it. Often it may be connected to the previous phase, which has been done in parallel by several contracts. And then more we go towards bigger budgets, the restricted competition is still applying, but very often at the very end stage, like the demonstration, we are finishing with one contract. Because here we are talking tens of millions sometimes, depending on the application. And this is where definitely the possibility of doing several contracts in parallel will be tricky. Important in all this process, we are really asking for the co-funding. I think Jérôme already mentioned it. If we see that the industry is putting anything in the game, this is where we understand that it's linked to your roadmaps and you will accompany us to develop this technology or this system in order that it becomes really something on the market. That's why we are asking you to do that, because then it means that you are treating the topic seriously. And sometimes we do also direct negotiation for justified cases, as I mentioned. This may happen, for example, if we know that there is very limited number of the primes who can do the job and we would like to test how much advanced is the topic. This is where we do the direct negotiation. Or sometimes if there is a particular interest in some of the member states, we also can do the direct negotiation. So that's how it works. And now, as you know already, many of you took part in it. We are accompanying you in getting together. First of all, through the matchmaking. Matchmaking is what we have today. We would like that you use this opportunity to network and discuss between you in order to create good proposals and businesses, not only within ESA scheme. Second of all, we created 2 clubs which enable for the exchanges on the specific topics. So just join the club. There are 2 of them, the In-Space Transportation Club and the Access to Space Club, which Jérôme mentioned, initiated recently. This enables to connect all the ecosystem that is interested in this topic. And then we accompany you. That's why we have our colleagues from CIC who are very present and very active in the works with us. We are looking for this commercial aspect. So when we mature with new technologies, we want to be sure that the commercial path is not left behind. So this is where, with the CIC team, we are working closely in order to accompany you on both legs. This is shortly about the process. And as the outcome of this process, as you know, during our events, we are doing the award of the contracts. So today we have actually 2 of them. And both of them are related to the in-space transportation activity. First, you probably remember, most of you, Jan explained to you during last spring session details about the INSPOC. So we are currently working on this interoperability, ensuring the possibility in the future of having the interfaces which allow in-orbit rendezvous docking, non-cryogenic refueling. Then it's INSPOC 1, INSPOC 2, cryogenic refilling, INSPOC 3, onboard and shared intelligence, and the INSPOC 4, which we will launch soon, as the OZIP call, containerization and advanced in-space logistics. This normally you should know. In parallel, we are also working, as mentioned today several times, on the concept of the refueling station Odyssey. More information, definitely, you can ask Jan or find in the promotional information which we shared. And this is where with INSPOC 1, we arrived to the point where we can award only 1 contract. It is actually the contract for the phase B2, which is, in terms of budget, more advanced. And this contract is awarded to the exploration company and their subcontractors. And I would like to ask Benjamin, exactly, from the exploration company to join me on the stage. and Jérôme would like to give you the certificate. And now Benjamin has exactly 1 minute to pitch about the idea of what is in this contract. 1 minute.
Thank you, Agatha. Good afternoon, gentlemen, gentlewomen. My name is Benjamin Kiawak. I am the head of the institutional business development at the Exploration Company. And first of all, I would like to thank you, the European Space Agency. Thank you, Jérôme, Agatha, Jan, without forgetting as well the contract officer for the support providing and for investing into INSPOC 1. INSPOC 1 for in-space proof of concept number 1. The Exploration Company led a consortium formed by Almatech, CDS, GMV, Nova Space, ENER, Telespazio, Telespace, and AVS, where we had to demonstrate 4 core technologies. This afternoon, we discussed a lot about then rendezvous proximity operation for docking approach. Here, what we have to demonstrate is a collaborative prepare docking to a client. We discussed as well with Jérôme the collaboration between then the European Commission and the European Space Agency. So here our target, our customers is the EROS client satellite from the Thales Alenia Space partner. And our spacecraft named URA will target what we call a collaborative prepare docking approach, meaning that we have already proximity communication between the 2 spacecraft. We are going to establish rendezvous proximity operation and attempt to have the docking to the spacecraft. We will as well develop core technologies. We talk about power and data transfer with Space USB yesterday during the presentation, but here with our partner SENA, we will develop as well a way to provide and share power and data between 2 spacecraft. And we will as well attempt to do transfer of propellants. We are talking about non-cryogenic propellants, gas type, as well as fluidic type of propellant. The main, I said, ideas here and what I would like to express and share with the audience is we discuss about collaboration and competitions in Europe. So what is very important here and what we would like to embrace and foster in Europe is the collaboration side. So anything related, I would say, to passive sides, such as the passive docking interface for the docking, or the passive interface for the refueling, or the protocol for proximity communication between 2 spacecraft during the docking. All of these topics here can be shared openly in the European community, and we do not have, I wish we do not to compete on this type of topics. Where we can compete is on the active side, where we believe that there is room for competition in Europe, but with respect to the passive side, we open the floor and to all the user community, all the industries, to contact us, to participate through workshops, where we'll define the protocols for passive docking, for passive interfacing, for refueling, as well for the rendezvous proximity operations. You have my contact detail here. I think I wasn't too long, and I will thank you.
Really 1 minute, but not bad. Thank you very much. Okay. So for the second contract award, when we work on the INSPOC interfaces for interoperability, in parallel we are also accompanying the industry to work on the applications which can actually integrate the INSPOC interfaces in order to create the future ecosystem. This is to be done, first of all, that this ecosystem is created in parallel and fast, that this can deliver added value services in line with our roadmaps, and as I said, enable the future applications for dual use purposes, which we're mentioning today several times. And this contract is an example of the application of INSPOC, and you heard about it already. It is Raven, so Multi-Mission Platform Transport Demonstration, which is awarded to Piap Space and their consortium. And I would like to ask also Zygmunt to join me on the stage, and Valer, if you could please come. In order to have common picture, Jérôme, we give the award, and then I will let Paweł pitch 1 minute. We will see if he can keep the challenge. Please join.
Congratulations.
Now, can you just... Thank you very much. Congratulations, and Paweł, 1 minute.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Agata. I have a slide.
Yes,
There's a lot of content in it. I would do it better, looking how tech manage it. But anyhow, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paweł Paśko. I'm the program manager of the Raven. And what is Raven about? So the goal, the strategy of my company is to become an in-space transportation and logistics service provider. In order to achieve that, we have defined the roadmap in which 3 demonstration missions launched more or less every 3 years are defined. So, and the contract we have just signed is about the first demonstration mission called Demo 1, where we want to develop our first spacecraft, the first out of the fleet of spacecrafts. The fleet that's supposed to be modular multi-mission vehicles for in-space transportation. And the Demo 1 is all about demonstration of the orbital maneuvers, the phasing, and proximity operations, and the mission will end with controlled deorbiting. It will also serve as a first test platform for on-orbit and shared intelligence. And in the design, we are aiming to address the needs of both commercial and institutional customers, but also the dual use, providing the service of inspection, but also deterrence. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paweł. Congratulations. And this is finishing my part. Jan, up to you. Thank you very much.
Yes, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Agata, and congratulations to you for these two key awards, really instrumental for the future of in-space transportation. So crystal clear on the process, I hope, on the process to join us. Feel free to reach out if you want to know more. But you have seen, Jérôme was speaking about inclusiveness. You've seen that there are community with FLPP, the companies we're working with are growing larger and wider over the past years. We try to increase our outreach to new companies, new players, even non-space companies to spin in and to provide added value on the future space transportation market. And now we would like to put under the spotlight and to put at the forefront new collaboration, new member states, new companies that are discovering this new way of working with FLPP. And to do so, I would like to introduce Evangelia from our CIC colleagues to introduce this panel on testimonies and successful collaboration with the new companies.
Hello.
Thanks, Evangelia.
Hello, everybody. Congratulations, you made it to this final session later this afternoon. I would like to invite the panelists, please, on the stage, and we're going to see a brief video from Luxembourg Space. Oh, you are in control. Okay, got it. Please, the panelist on the stage. Yes. And then I will briefly, hello. We will see the video first, and then I will introduce everybody.
Hello, I'm Bob Lombre, Senior Manager for Exploration and Space Resource at the Luxembourg Space Agency. Our mission is supporting the local industry in developing the technologies and services for future commercial space economy. We believe that in-space logistics and refueling services will play a critical role in enabling this future. Space logistics will look very different in 10 years. To achieve this, FLPP provides an excellent framework. It coordinates these efforts on a European level while building on ESA's technical expertise. It's about making sure that Europe develops the right technologies, and we do that together. This is why the Luxembourg Space Agency recently decided to join FLPP, and we look forward to working with ESA and the European space industry to develop the technologies for the future in-space transportation services. From the very first interactions with the FLPP team, our impressions have been very positive. The discussions were constructive, we were able to move quickly, and together we share the same long-term goal of a dynamic and competitive European space industry. That kind of efficiency and mindset are important, and combined with a collaborative spirit, ensure that we maximize our impact and resources efficiently in Europe. We look forward to working closely with ESA and all member states to ensure that Europe secures both the technologies and the competitive industrial base required for the future. Let's create together the foundation for a vibrant and sustainable space economy in Europe, where our industries can deliver innovative and competitive services, from refueling a space tug in LEO to supporting lunar exploration missions. Access to space is critical at the moment. Mobility in space will be increasingly important in the future. Thank you very much, and we are looking forward to connecting with all of you in the future.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you very much to Bob and the Luxembourg Space Agency for the inspiring message. I would be very happy if you briefly introduced yourselves, and also would like to say what your company is doing and how you got to work together with FLPP and the in-space transportation market. Would you like to?
Yeah, hello, thank you for inviting me. I'm Marcin Orzechowski from Bimotech. We are an SME from Poland. We work on high-performance metals for harsh environments. We've been for a while with a fusion market, and then we moved to a space market, which was for us sort of a natural way to move on. We learned about ESA and ESA programs through Polish Space Agency. We went to various events. Also, we went to Big Science Business Forum and learned about opportunities at ESA. Then we went deeper, and we went to ESA events, conferences, and we learned about the whole path, the one that Agata presented, from OSIP to pitch and then ITT. So we submitted several OSIP ideas, and then we got to the next step, which was pitch day.
Perfect. We're so glad that you're with us and that you had this information provided to you. Mathieu?
Good afternoon. So I'm Mathieu. I'm from EPFL. It's the Swiss Federal Institute of Technologies in Lausanne. So I'm actually from the 3% of academia that Jérôme was mentioning earlier this afternoon. It's actually FLPP that came to us in 2022 with a need. They identified that in the future, companies will have to investigate the expected environmental impacts of future space systems. And so at the time, we created a project with a consortia, so EPFL Space Center for the space system expertise, the Paul Scherrer Institute, it's a research center in Switzerland for their expertise in life cycle assessment of complex systems, and Ateliris, who is also represented in the room for software development. And we did a proof of concept for a life cycle assessment tool during a first year of project, and that was convincing enough for ESA to reconduct a second project, which we are finishing in a month or so. And so out of this project, we have developed a simplified space-specific prospective lifecycle assessment software to be used in the early design phases of any space missions. And we are now transitioning, spinning off from academia to create a company that will use this tool and deliver a service helping industries to be compliant with new requirements and new regulations that are coming up on this topic of environmental impacts.
Thank you, Matthew. This is inspiring.
Hello, everybody. I'm Christian Bauer. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Delta Orbit, and we are a spin-out from the Technical University of Munich. Back then, around 2012, we were investigating and researching different methods for active debris removal mission at the university. And one of the main outcomes was that we need better engines that can be re-fired, relighted many times in orbit. And so that back then we started researching methane and oxygen combustion, so different aspects. Fast forward to 2022, we started basically bundling up all of these research insights into a company, which is now called Delta Orbit. And we then joined first the ESA Business Incubation Center in Bavaria, which led us to our first small GSTP contract. And since then we are in the ESA world. And later on we also got an FLPP contract, so an ESA first, which was a huge milestone for us and has really triggered or given us the confidence to also more or less approach larger primes, which also with this seal of approval and quality has really led to a first paid pilot project with large primes. And so now here we are in the space industry.
So hello everyone, my name is Rado Piternák and I'm CTO at the company Zajtra. We are a Czech-based company. We are based in the city of Brno in Czech Republic. And what we do is space computing. We have various products mainly focusing right now for Earth observation. But last year we got exposure to FLPP due to INSPOC 3. Where we were one of the primes in one of the parallel contracts. And our products solve the problem of latency. So when you want to do something that it's a time-critical application, so you want to do it directly at the edge, so on the satellite or on the spacecraft, and we provide both hardware and software to do this in space.
Perfect. And now, since you know who the panelists are, I would like to direct a question to Matthew and ask you, how did collaboration with ESA and FLPP contribute to your company's growth or technological progress?
Yeah, so ESA FLPP was really at the root of the project. Initially, they came up with the idea or the need for looking more at the environmental impacts of space systems. It was quite a new topic. So it was a new topic for them, but also for us, as we had to combine the expertise of different groups to be able to reach the objectives of the project, which in a way was great because we were able to aggregate those expertise, and ESA FLPP let us enough freedom to explore and also bring in our own ideas about this new topic to fulfill the list of requirements that they wanted to see. And at the end of a first one-year project, we were able to have a proof of concept coming back to the MVP strategy that was mentioned before, so we went quickly to a proof of concept, and later, now with this second phase of the project, we are able to increase the quality, improve the tool by adding new features and extending what it's capable of. We see also that ESA FLPP was proactive. They took part in conferences on the topic of space sustainability, and we co-authored several publications along the project.
Okay, great. So ESA FLPP helped you to accelerate with the proof of concept and also with upgrading the different functionalities for your tool. And to that, I will come to Marcin. And I'm going to ask you, how did ESA accompany you through the process from the initial contact, pardon me, to collaboration, and what kind of support or facilitation did you receive?
It was very crucial because ESA connected us with primes, and we were able to learn about the requirements. And then we were connected with ESA reviewers and experts. So this triad made the project really accelerate in the right direction. So I would say it's like a guided acceleration, and even now we're in the middle of the project. ESA is guiding us in terms of quality and safety, and then at the end, ESA is showing us where we should be at the end when we get to the market. So we're not trying to boil the ocean. We just know where to go. That's really helpful.
Perfect. So ESA helps you to focus on your direction and also in this collaborative spirit that you all discussed before. I have a question for Rado now. What challenges did you face entering and engaging basically the in-space transportation market? How did ESA help you overcome those?
Yeah, so since we were a newcomer in this market, the biggest challenge was actually to get to know the industry as a whole and all the players that are in this market, and also what is the vision and what are the plans and challenges in the future, how this market is going to be shaped. And for that, it was like very good from the FLPP team that they very clearly presents the vision of the future in space transportation on the events like this, but also during the discussions with our technical officer, for example, etc. So it's I think the vision and the challenges are very well communicated to the industry and to all of the stakeholders.
Yes, indeed. And the challenges, though, if they're being overcome, then we reach to the achievements and innovation. So my next question is towards Christian. Last but not least, could you highlight one key result that came out of your synergy, your collaboration with ESA FLPP?
Yeah, our first FLPP project is still going on. So, and the main outcome for that will be if everything goes well. So, fingers crossed. Probably our first real product that we can sell to a large prime. And basically, the major outcome and the main result of the entire process was really a seal of quality that made primes really talk to us seriously. And that has led to our first pilot project, but also triggered a much more interest from also other players. And not only that, but it also gave the team itself confidence that actually we can do that and that we are on the right track, which is also something that's very important because it also gives our team a lot of motivation and confidence.
Great. So I would like to address a question to all of you. Whoever wants to, they can take it first. Did this cooperation with ESA FLPP open new market or cross-sector opportunities?
I mean, for us, it did not really open new markets because we're doing cryogenic in-space propulsion, so the market is space transportation, but it opened the market a bit, at least for now. So quite a while ago, so many years ago, when we said we wanted to build cryogenic in-space transportation vehicles, people shook their heads. And now we see serious discussions about that, and that basically opened the market for us in the first place.
Yeah, so as I said at the beginning, during the introduction, we were mostly active in Earth observation before. So for us, this was a completely new area. So it definitely helped to be involved and also to search for use cases of the technology that we are developing in the future in space transportation. And it also leads us that after this INSPOC free contract, the ideation phase finished, we are right now part of the consortium of Raven that was awarded here of the phase B1. So it definitely opened new opportunities to us in this ecosystem.
So we are preparing to arrive on the market. We need to confirm the market actually next year. What I can say is that thanks to the project and now it's spinning off from academia into the commercial world, we have sent already our first offers. So we see that there is a need from industries and there's traction in Europe. So yeah, from that FLPP project, we will now need to confirm that the market is real.
Yeah, for us, we're in the middle of the project, but we're trying to develop a metal that it has properties that are not seen right now in the commercial market. So our goal is to replace nickel alloys that are used for many applications in many markets, like Inconel 718. We already have better results for certain properties, but this is just the middle of the project. When we get the material qualified and verified, then it really opens lots of opportunities.
It is great to hear, and good luck to all of you with expanding or getting into the market. This is definitely something that ESA is there to aid you for. And I would like to ask you, what kind of advice would you give to industry, to newcomers who perhaps might be, they might know about space, but they might not be abreast of in-space transportation?
Read whatever ESA puts on their website, go to conferences as you already are here, submit OSIP calls and go through this path because it's a really well-designed path, the one that Agata showed before. Participate in events, talk to people, find partners, collaborators, talk to academia, and you find your way.
We've seen, thanks to the presentations today, that there is a lot going on in this topic, so get interested in it. And yeah, ESA is sometimes seen as a very big entity and sometimes slow entity, but with FLPP, I don't think it's the case. They showed that they were quite flexible, and also they were able to work in an agile way, typically for software development, so it's a good point.
I also have to say, if FLPP makes sense for you, then give it a try in any case. I can only describe it as really fruitful and supportive, and I think it made our company better in any case, so give it a try.
Yeah, it's hard to add anything new from what you have said, but I think I would just stress that the procurement process is very good for onboarding new companies to FLPP. So just attend or try to submit your idea to OSIP, get some feedback and iterate from there, and you will see if it fits into the FLPP.
It is good to hear that you were able to find this opportunity and to be in this collaborative, innovative and efficient environment working with ESA FLPP, which tries to make the vision of ESA more tangible to be placed in the in-space transportation. Thank you so much for sharing all of your amazing experiences. And I would like to ask you, in just one word or phrase, how would you describe your experience with working with ESA?
So, for me, it's surprisingly dynamic. So the team is very flexible, very dynamic, moving fast, which, yeah, it's very refreshing to see.
So one word only, then?
It can be one phrase as well.
Fruitful, I would say. Fruitful.
Thanks. It was an enriching experience as we were able to combine different expertise to answer a specific need that was defined by ESA. So yes, enriching.
I would say guided acceleration of discovery and market readiness.
Great, thank you so much for your insights, and for the other newcomers that might be watching, do not hesitate to collaborate with us. FLPP and in-space transportation is a place where ideas turn into actions, and you so hear from the testimonies of the panelists. So good luck with your ongoing projects, and happy that you gave us your insights today. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you wouldn't mind to just take a picture first.
Yes, indeed. Thanks a lot for these brilliant testimonies. I really appreciate the word to describe the team and the program. Thank you so much for these kind words. And as you see, FLPP is not only across the different parts of this journey together today. You've seen that FLPP is accompanying large space integrators, established ones, new players, with tier one suppliers or suppliers of new technologies, and even accompanying newcomer into their growth and their production of added value on the space transportation market. So really thank you all for being on board. So now we've seen approximately all the different aspects of the program, the status of our programs and ambition, how we can onboard players. So everybody might be now in the starting blocks, ready for the next steps. Call to action then. And that's why I am glad to welcome back on stage Jérôme Breteau, Head of Future Space Transportation, to present to you the next steps and milestones with the key opportunities to join our venture to shape the future of space transportation, and closing remarks. Jérôme, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Yann. Thank you again. Thank you to the panel participants for all their insightful reflection and statement. Just one small thing, there is no incentive in the contracts each time the contractor say FLPP. So this is something that we don't ask in the contract. So it's time now to wrap up and to give you the next 6 months. And I think this is also an important aspect of today. What is on the menu for the next 6 months? The calls. As you saw, and as it has been said by Agatha when she presented our usual process of contracting, we start with an OSIP call. So you see that we have several OSIP calls, but this year, before the end of this year, we have a pitch day, which is the second event after the OSIP call for simulation and intelligence online. So first, number 6. We have a pitch day for Odyssey, so the orbital propellant depot demonstrator, open competition with parallel contract. You remember the presentation with the different funneling towards a single contract. Before the end of this year, we have the award event, contract event for sustainability, the call for sustainability. You saw in my introductory slide, the event with the OZIP call and the pitch days. So it will be at spring event. I will come back on that. First, number 6, ITT. So the invitation to tender. Here we are discussing of hard facts. That's the call for the contract and the proposal. So it will be in December this year. So you see already before the end of this year, we have a significant a significant set of things to achieve, and not the least being the CM25 that I put here for memory on the 26th and 27th of November in Bremen. We'll be in Germany this year under the auspices of German government. Then next year for the next phase, after the ministerial, we will go on. We will go on with our proven approach. So then the OZIP call for first number 7 in space transportation technologies. Sorry. To support our endeavor in end-to-end space transportation, and especially in space transportation. Invitation to tender, here is also for call for proposal, contractual proposal for Odyssey preparatory phase. So here open competition. In SPOC 2, in space proof of concept number 2, cryogenic refueling. If you carefully listen to what has been said in SPOC 1, in SPOC 2, in SPOC 3, in SPOC 4. So this one is for in SPOC 2, cryogenic refueling definition phase, parallel contracts. Here also, in SPOC 3, very important, onboard and shared intelligence, fleet management. So it's a point of entry for a lot of software AI companies here. So I invite you to be part of the community here, preparation phase. And in SPOC 4 is containerization and advanced in space logistics. This one is my favorite. That's the one with a small container logo, and especially beyond containerization, quick transfer between in-space transportation vehicle, interoperability being the key word here. That's, I would say, for the first half of 2026, so already a rather heavy menu, as you can see. And we will make a point d'étape at the spring event. I will highlight later. Third quarter of 2026, thrust, so the high thrust liquid propulsion calls. Full-scale subsystem, here that's a structuring topic. It's a big thing, it's flagship. So we have an open call here. So all technology, LSI and so on, be prepared for this call. And ITT for permafrost, which deals with in-space transportation propulsion. Definition phase here. So it's a follow-on. And by the end of 2026, reusability. So we reuse also the call. So it's best reloaded. That's Frédéric initiative, I would say. Open call for new reusability concept. As you know, for us, reusability, not only for us, I think it was clear today during the exchanges, it's a priority for the next phase. So we are helping the industrial base to cope with the challenge ahead on reusability, and there is a lot of work to do. We are far off, I would say, mastering this key competence. And in SPOC 1 implementation phase, so here we are speaking of the completion, contract to completion, so phases C, D, E, F, pending, of course, positive support at CM25 from our member states. Voilà, so that's what is planned between now and the end of next year. So you see rather active period. Once again, you see contracts, you see calls, you see exchanges. I did not highlight all the, how to say that, community animation activities around workshops, convergence, users club. I will come back on that. So all this helps us to ensure an efficient and coherent European space transportation community to implement. It's an ecosystem that we are trying to pilot or at least ride at ESA level to implement the strategic roadmap that has been assigned to us, the executive, for implementation. Voilà, so that's the call. Then, in terms of events, we have an e-space transportation club session number 4, which is planned very soon, on the 17th of November. So I think it's number 4 of this session number 4. So I think all the participants are well accustomed to this. It's here. It's key in the convergence and the co-petition aspects. It's a cooperation dimension before having fun with the competition. So it's planned on the 17th of November. You see what is the focus, presenting status and way forward of Odyssey, and sharing the enabling interfaces with space tech ecosystem. Here it echoes what we have been discussing today, and it echoes what I've been saying during my initial address on the necessity to have European-wide space transportation infrastructure at the service of our member states and the European citizen. And through this, the interoperability is enabled through the interfaces. So we must, in Europe, share the same interfaces. And believe me, if we in Europe, we share the same interfaces, we will promote it to the rest of the space community worldwide. And it puts us with a head start in this respect. Access to Space Club, session number 2. There was a kickoff on the 11th of September, as I presented to you, and I repeat that it was for us a big success. More than 80 participants, 50 companies. I speak under the control of Jean-Noël Caruana, but I think we had 9 inspiring presentations, and especially I recall one from a Swiss corporation that was very inspiring. And in this respect, we have the next session in the typically end of March, early April 2026. So I invite all the community members that are interested in access to space to join this event. And last but not least, we will not change a winning team. So we still prepare the next session of future space transportation preparation for the spring. So it will be in Paris. It will be in ESA headquarters. It will be the 9th of March, same format, 2 p.m. We will try to the maximum extent to use this week also for our workshops, clubs, and so on, so that we can have the we can be efficient, I would say, in terms of mission, because I know that for all of you who are coming from all over Europe, it's an effort, it's a cost also. So we try to have everything in the same week, so that we can ensure maximum efficiency and have the quickest circulation of information. So be prepared and put in your agenda 9th of March 2026 for the spring session. And I hope that this spring session, I will not make my usual joke on the weather condition, which I did not do today, because the weather conditions are fair today. Voilà. Last, once again, pedagogy is about repetition. Here we are not very far for hammering it hard. Sorry for this, but I think it's important. It's important because I will deliver a message to the European space transportation community. We are 1 month away from the ministerial. The situation is improving, but we count on you to ensure that this ministerial will be a success. It will be a success not specifically to please the FLPP team, despite the fact that we will be delighted to implement the program, but it's a big responsibility. But it's also important for European space transportation community to tackle the challenges. At the beginning, if you remember, we said that during one panel that we need to have a prime mover advantage because we are competing with countries and consortia which have one order of magnitude in terms of future space transportation preparation, and that's not the that's a minimum, I would say, in what we have in mind. So we have to ensure that we are efficient, and in this approach, we need to take benefit of the head start that we have. I know that here also you are aware of the fact that in Europe, for certain topics, and especially for the in-space transportation and the end-to-end space transportation, we had a head start. I use the past because it's quickly decreasing. We still have, but it's important for us to capitalize on this head start and to use this prime mover advantage to position our industry typically on key interfaces so that we have a competitive advantage to our competitors overseas. So, priority for the next 6 months, CM25 and implementation of the CM25. I recall the structuring ventures, I would say, or the priority topics. They are much more than meets the eye because you know that typically a program proposal is a 30-page plus document that is submitted to our member states. But to simplify it to the extreme, I would say we are getting priorities at the next ministerial around high thrust liquid propulsion because this is structuring aspects and a long lead time activity. In space segment of our end-to-end space transportation with orbital propellant depot and the technology maturation roadmap. I don't recall with the 4 in-spoke incremental demonstration, MVP approach, minimum viable product approach, and this is important for our member states. Reusable booster and reusable upper stages also. So here also we have to accelerate on this. We are progressing. You saw the statement on the TEMIS readiness at Kiruna test range for hop test, but we need to accelerate globally in Europe on that. And last but not least, and I will spend 2 minutes on that, the ESA first. Now the ESA first, it's always is suffering, I would say, for the deficit of image, but I think it's above all the fertile base on which we are all building our activity. So it's important for us to acknowledge their contribution to the competitiveness of the European space transportation sector. And what is important is that we ensure the robustness of this industrial base, the robustness of the not food chain, but the end-to-end value chain from academia down to the operational services and the commercial application. And it's important that our technology providers are included and embedded in the global value chain. That's what we are trying to do with all the matchmaking event, with all the get-together, with the promotion and the pitch days of our industrial base. And this is, by the way, also strongly expected by our delegation and member states to develop this industrial base that will help us, by the way, be key in the processing of the oncoming budgetary surge that we were discussing and debating earlier. Voilà. In a nutshell, what we can say about the wrap-up. One last word, I would say, about our... we don't lose track after this event. We don't lose track because you can have a lot of details, information, and so on. Feel free to connect to this different internet-based point of entry. You have, for sure, I think you understand now the message, the Open Space Innovation Platform, which is the point of entry for your activities, if you want to hook on our community, and if you want to help us and contribute to the competitiveness of the European space transportation sector. We have the colleagues also from Commercialization Directorate. You have general presentation from ESA Space Transportation Activities and Space Transportation Directorate. Each company that has already done contract with ESA knows the call for opportunities on the commercialization gateway. So, and you have the QR code to have more about FLPP and our point of contact in case you would not have everything on the different sites. Feel free to contact us. This ends more or less on our desk immediately, so we will be happy to reply and answer to all your questions. I think that's my last slide, but yes, well, some team management thing. Thank you. I would like also to kindly ask you for a round of applause for my team, which has been working hard to ensure the availability of all the panels and the preparation of all the panels. And I would like to have a special thank, sorry for this, to Margot, who has been key in the organization and the success of today. Thanks.
Yes, so thank you very much, Jerome, for this thrilling perspective and key opportunities. And indeed, together, let's make SEMIN 25 a success for Europe to consolidate a leading role for the future to space. I believe that we can be proud of the momentum we've got together, of our common, of what we're building together. We are doing it the European way, with strategic collaboration, shared excellence, and impactful drive. And we are taking stock of our differences and strengths, but joined with a shared vision and in a shared ecosystem. So we can continue to share and to discuss at the cocktail and buffet that is now open. Thanks to all of you for being there. Thank you again for being on board with in our thrilling venture to shape the future. And let's build together this future space transportation infrastructure. So for those who are here, I invite you now to the cocktail and buffet. For all, feel free to reach out in the future. And thank you for this event, and see you soon for next steps.